My name's Abercrombie, and I dropped out of high school in 10th grade. And you're watching my channel. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the chan. You spilled. So today I'm going to be explaining. My voice just cracked, but today I'm going to be explaining how and why I dropped out of high school. I do want to say that I did go back. I didn't go back to that school, but I did go back and get my high school diploma. I did. I don't know, I thought I should just talk about it, you know what I mean? So today I'm going to be telling the inspiring, wholesome story as to why I dropped out of high school. Where should I begin? So obviously, I dropped out of high school because of my internet career, I guess. That's the lamest thing I've ever said. And actually the story I'm about to tell is not uncommon. Like all your fave TikTok stars right now, bish, they are not in school. Emery, she don't go to school. So I was making Vines, as y'all know. I started making Vines in the beginning of 9th grade, the end of 2014. Yeah. I started making Vines and I was like, I mainly started making Vines because getting choked up. I loved Vine and I don't know. Yeah. So I'm making Vines and then I start 9th grade and that was rough. Not a fun time. No. During this time, struggling with anxiety, depression. We were just going through it. Yeah, so I was using Vine during this time to just escape from that, I guess, and I was obviously using Vine to express myself as well. The fuck is that noise? Okay, so wait, I remember now. All of 9th grade, during that time I was mainly focused on Vine, like that was just my only thing, you know what I mean? I hated school, hated my real life, so all I could do was just focus on Vine, you know? I get through 9th grade, luckily. We get through it. So it's the summer of going into 10th grade. And this summer, I'm like, okay, this summer, we are gonna do it. We are gonna get on our Vine grind and we are going to, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it. So I'm making Vines all summer. I'm like, I'm like going for it. Before the summer of going into 10th grade, we moved. We moved into a new house and it was me, my mom, and Kyle. The living situation that we were moving out of was not great. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna grind this summer. I'm gonna make Vines. Maybe I can make a little bit of money. Like maybe I can do this. I don't know. I guess that's one way. Yeah. At the time, of course, we had like no money. So I was using Vine, like I was grasping onto it, being like, maybe if I get lucky, maybe this will do something for us. And luckily somehow she did. You know, we moved, we're on the up and up. We're on the up and up. It seems. Summer starts. I was making Vines like, it was like every 2 or 3 days or something. I would post a Vine. It's so funny because at the time I also had an app on my phone and you would put in your account details, like your Vine account details, and you could put it in this app and you would like get all of the analytics of what's happening on your Vine account. It was a legit app and it was run by a network called Collab. I don't want to spoil it, but just remember that. The app that I was using was like run by Collab, and that's what I was using. Like every day I would look at it and I would be like, one day we're gonna have millions. You know what I mean? Like I was seeing what's up. And at this time I was just making Vines of just myself. And I wish I could remember like how many likes they were getting. I think in the beginning of the summer I was getting like maybe like 2,000, 3,000 likes, or maybe I don't remember. It wasn't much. And then like in the middle of the summer, I think that's when I was like officially averaging maybe like 2,000 to 5,000 likes maybe. I don't know. Summer is about to end. Let's just say there was like 2 weeks left of summer. So I make this video of Kyle. I don't remember how it came to be. Before this, Kyle would sporadically be in my Vines. We made the Vine of Kyle with the white boot in the doorway. Like, we made that Vine, and we posted it, and it got more likes than usual, you know, which is good. So let's just say it got like 10,000 to like 15,000 maybe. It got 15,000, and then it kind of just like stalled. I was like, okay, that sucks, but we'll keep going. And also at the time, I was like in group chats with other Vine creators. The Vine creators that I was friends with were like the ones that would make the edits, like the very funny comedic edits. I found myself in that crowd, and that mainly because we were all the same age, you know what I mean? Just making Vines, just our little like community we had going on. Summer comes to an end, and then 10th grade starts. Woo! 10th grade starts. You know, my mental state's still not great. It's still not good. Still extremely depressed, and I still had a lot of anxiety. Just like hating every second of it. And word got out of like my Vine account. It just like wasn't good. You know, I hated myself, I hated my appearance. And I think a lot of the negative stuff that I'm still having to deal with today really stems from this time. I don't know how far into 10th grade. Let's just say a couple weeks went by, and then the Vine with the white boots, it popped off. We just got really lucky, and it had like 100,000 likes. We were going on up there, you know what I mean? And I think that's also the sad part. I thought Vine would make me happy, which it did, and it didn't. It would make me feel good for literally a minute or two, and then after I would go back to being sad. So I guess that's one reason why I liked Vine, because it made me feel good. This is weird. A little more time goes on, I don't really remember. The Vine account was finally becoming something. Like, it was, you know what I mean? I could feel it. I was like, okay, like, this is really about to be, I don't know if it, like, I don't think this makes sense, but it's like really about to pay back. You know what I mean? Like, it's really about to pay off. Yeah, that's the word. Like, I felt like the Vine account was really about to pay off. So I started at this time having thoughts of being like, okay, maybe if this Vine account gets big enough, like, I will not, like, this sounds so weird and stupid, because it was. I was like, maybe I won't have to go to school. I think I did bring up the conversation with my mother of like online school and stuff. She was, you know, not ever really about it, so I would just keep on. I keep making Vines. I wish I could remember the specifics, but I don't. 10th grade is about to be halfway over, and our Vine account is starting to gain attention of like not just people, but networks and stuff. And so we were contacted by a couple of people. Then we were contacted by Collab. And Collab was the people that created that app that I was using. And now when I look back, I'm obviously like, Luke, like, you should have never doubted yourself. Like, you were looking at them the whole time. Like, you should have known that they were watching you. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know. I just never thought to like put it together and be like, oh, maybe like if I'm seeing this, maybe one day I will potentially work with them. So they reached out to us. They were like calling and stuff. They were like, we want a Skype call. And I was like, oh my gosh, y'all, like we made it, y'all. So obviously this is such a big deal because with them, we can start making money off Vine. I was like, wow, it like really paid off. Like all of this really paid off. I was so excited. Crazy. So it's the night of the Skype call. We're excited. We're pumped. Me and Kyle are in my room. My mom is off at like Dollar General or something. So I grabbed this huge speaker that we had that was in the garage, and I put it in my room, and I hooked up Kyle's phone to it. I go on his Spotify and I just click shuffle, and that Future song came on that he's dancing to in the video. I started playing it through the speaker. I turn it up so loud, it's like so funny. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to film a Vine. So I like take out my phone, I start recording Kyle, and Kyle's just like dancing. He's being so funny. Our mom comes home, and then she opens the door and she's like, no, stop. Or I don't remember what she said, but she's like, stop. I go back, I edit the video. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. So I post it. And then it literally came time for the Skype call. So we do the Skype call. It goes great, obviously. They're so nice. Everybody was so generous, and they were saying how they were watching our Vines, which is so crazy. Okay, like shoot, like this is pretty cool. I was like, oh, thanks. And that Vine where Kyle's dancing was I think it was literally, it wasn't our biggest Vine. I think it was like our second biggest Vine or something. Of course, the Skype call goes great. So we sign with them. We like sign everything. It's like official. We are going to start making money off of these Vines. Before that Skype call, we didn't really have any big Vines yet. Those people at Collab, they kind of just scouted us. They have the potential to pop off. Let's sign them. You know, if they do, let's just see what happens. I'm assuming that's what their thought process was. I don't know. We're like signing all of this stuff. It's like in the works to start making money off of these videos now. And that video that we posted hours before is now going like insanely viral. During the Skype call, during everything, during that night, I had like no idea what was happening. The next morning, after the Skype call, I wake up and I see that the video popped off. It has like hundreds of thousands of likes. I'm seeing the video everywhere. I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So I'm still on Vine, I'm just looking around and I see Justin Bieber's account. What are the odds that he liked this video? Like, what are the odds? So I click on his likes and that was his latest like, that video. Oh my God, like, oh my God, Justin Bieber, like, I love you, Justin Bieber. And this was his hype. This was during his Purpose era, so he was like on top of it. Oh my God, Justin Bieber's like, I love you, like, what do you mean? Oh, when you're not in your head, yes. Every morning before school, I was like bopping his album, and to see that he liked the video, I was like, holy shit. We're so ecstatic. Everything is popping. All the socials, poppin'. I go to school, nobody really knows, and then I get on the bus. The middle schoolers and the high schoolers share the same bus or whatever. So I'm on the bus with Kyle. We're like, hey, we're like kind of hype, you know what I mean? We're like so excited. And so these two girls get on the bus. I wish I could remember their names. Oh my God, they're just like freaking out because I guess they kept up with all the Vine stuff. So they knew what happened and they were freaking out because they didn't know that Kyle went to their school. So they're freaking out. We're freaking out. It's just like everything's Gucci. That's the sad part. Everything seems to be Gucci, but in here, no, it's not Gucci. And that's actually like the really sad part. I guess I was doing all of that thinking that it would make me feel better and it would make me happy again. Like that's what I was missing. In reality, none of it made me feel better. Not even like Justin Bieber can make you feel better, you know? It takes time and it takes effort to feel better. But at the time, I didn't know that. We would film a Vine on our way to school. If it was funny enough, I would post it. And I think we had a couple Vines that really popped off that we filmed on the way to school, which I think is just so funny. And honestly, that is only possible because of Kyle's hilarity. Like that only happens with Kyle. I would literally just turn on the radio and film him and it would be gold. Thank you, Kyle. Bro, you are the GOAT. You are the GOAT. My Vine account has popped off. It's like finally kind of turned into something. So at school, I'm like, school. I'm at the time I was not doing school. I was not paying attention and just thinking up Vine ideas. That's all I would do. Literally, no school, just Vine. So then, after school, me and Kyle would get on the bus, because I was in high school, he was in middle school. Then I would tell him, and I'd be like, Kyle, when we get home, we're filming this. And he'd be like, no. And I'd be like, yes, Kyle, we're filming this, we have to. And then he would be like, fine. That bus ride was... The bus is low-key kind of a beautiful place because at school, I have a really overactive stomach. My stomach just gets real rowdied up. And then I would get on the bus, and as soon as she started that shit up, the bus would be so loud, it'd be shaking, I would just fart. The first thing I'd do, let it all out because nobody could hear it. The bus was so loud. Everybody was talking, the bus was going, and I would just sit there alone and just fart. Not many people in high school ride the bus because they like to drive, but I had anxiety, so I didn't drive, and I still don't drive. But now I just tell people that I don't drive because I am an environmentalist. If you don't drive, that's completely normal. It's fine, every day. As soon as that started up, let it out. Oh God, see, I lost my place. It's because I didn't prepare. And then we would go home, and then we would, of course, film the Vine and post it. And also during this time, I think we were sporadically filming YouTube videos. The network also had our channel monetized, our YouTube channel. And so, this isn't, so like, I'm trying to remember. One day we get home and Kyle's playing on his Xbox, and I was just sitting in his room watching because that's what I would do. Yeah, I have to piss. Woo! So he starts watching YouTube videos on his Xbox, and he comes across the Snoop Dogg, the Snoop Dogg song. I don't know what it's called. You know, he comes across that and we're like watching the music video. I think it would be funny if Kyle had like his hoodie on in a funny way. That's literally all I thought. Like, it was not really a complete thought, but I was like, what if he had like his hoodie on and was like dancing to the song or something? And I told Kyle, and of course he was like, we don't film it yet. And I think a couple days go by and I'm out of Vine ideas and we needed to film one. And I was like, okay, Kyle, we're filming that Vine. So he puts on the hood, we start filming the Vine. So we film it and I edit it. Cute Cut, we're all familiar with Cute Cut. I would always edit them on the toilet, and I always edit my thumbnails on the toilet. I don't know why. It's just what I do. And then I like, of course, show our mom. I'm like, Mom, do you think this is funny? And she's like, I posted it. A couple hours go by. I opened the app. It literally already had like 100,000. It's like popping off. I was shook. Okay, bitch, I was shook. And of course, at the time, I was happy and I was like, woo, like I'm happy. It didn't make me happy, y'all. At the time, I didn't know what happiness was. So I thought that was happiness. I thought it was just like temporary, I guess. I don't know. I would look at it and feel better and then, you know, go back to being depressed. It's gone crazy viral. We start making a considerable amount of money from Vine. I was noticing that Vine was just slowing down. I was like, okay, that sucks. We're gonna go to YouTube. The YouTube channel had like 10,000 subscribers and it was already monetized. Let's just say 10th grade ends. Okay, we're gonna stop posting on Vine. I don't think anybody else was on that app as much as me, but I just noticed that it was going to shut down. 10th grade ends, we're posting on YouTube. At this time, we are making a considerable amount of money. I think one of the videos was even featured on Ridiculousness. It was becoming a business. It was like, it was sustainable at this point, you know? I finally go to my mom, I'm like, online school, let's do it. And she's like, okay. I get to stay home, do school online, get to make more YouTube videos, and she was like, okay. I somehow convinced her. So 10th grade ends, and sis was not going to re-enroll. Last summer I was like, okay, we're gonna do Vine. This summer I was like, okay, we're gonna do YouTube. I think it was like every 2 or 3 days we would post a video. I would just come up with an idea, whatever idea I had at the time, and we would just film it. And I think our first skit was Rebecca and Caitlin. I just filmed it on my phone, I edited it on my phone, and then it got to a point where I was like, okay, I need a camera. I got a little MacBook. She's sitting right there, but unfortunately she doesn't work anymore. It's because I broke that. And then school starts again, and Kyle, of course, he goes to normal school, and I start online school. This never started. I never did it. I think for like the first 3 days I did it, and then after that I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, I just didn't care. I didn't care about the consequences or anything. A little bit of time passes, and we get like a phone call from like school, the online school, and they're like, okay, you're not attending. Are you just gonna drop out or whatever? And I'm like, okay. So I drop out of online school, and I'm officially not going to school. I'm just making YouTube videos. Looking back at It's Just Luke and all of those videos, I love them dearly, and I think they're funny, and I think they're goofy. The reason I was putting on those wigs, the reason you never saw me, I hated myself. I hated just like everything about me, you know? I was so depressed. I had so much anxiety. I couldn't go in front of the camera like myself, so I always had to throw on a wig. I always had to throw on like some type of accent just to mask. That's kind of one reason why I hate looking back on them, because I was just sad. I was also very rude. I was very snappy because I was under so much stress, and just at the time I just like didn't care like how other people felt, and I didn't care about how I felt. So that's one reason why I hate looking back. You guys watching the It's Just Luke channel, like y'all weren't even aware that I wasn't in school, which is so weird because now making YouTube videos, I'm not really putting on a mask. I'm just being myself for you guys, you know, and I'm just putting myself out there, which in the beginning of this YouTube channel was really, really, really hard to do. And I guess it's because of my really low self-esteem, to be like completely honest. Like after our recreating our iconic Vines video, and it, of course, it blew up, I had like a huge mental breakdown because I just felt so much pressure, even though there's no pressure. And I didn't want to disappoint you guys because I knew that I wasn't going to film with Kyle. I knew it, and I didn't want to because Kyle needs to continue his education and he needs to finish school. This go around, I just want to be myself. What me and Kyle have on camera and in real life is amazing, and that's what you guys fell in love with, our bond and the way we would interact. You know, with this channel, I just wanted it to be independent because that's what is sustainable. I can make myself film all of these videos. I can make myself edit all of these videos because I know my limit. I don't know Kyle's limit. I don't know anybody else's limit. Kyle doesn't really need to be doing that right now because he's in school and he needs to focus on that. That's why I had such a big breakdown over it, because I knew the people came here for Kyle. I knew it would be weird if they were to just see me, you know, because that's not what they're familiar with. This is just what was going through my mind during that actual mental breakdown after the recreating our Vines video. I wasn't enough. Like, nobody would want to watch. Everybody was going to leave. Kind of bothers me. It bothers me, but not really. This channel is mine and it's my content. And if they don't want to see that, then goodbye. So me and Kyle are making these YouTube videos. Me and Kyle have around 200,000 subscribers, but it hadn't really like popped off yet. I don't exactly remember how many views each video was getting, maybe like 50,000 to 100,000. Then we posted a video. It was just like a vlog of us in Walmart, and it got like 800,000 views. And then we posted like a video of us, like the babysitting video or something, and it kind of popped off. It was like getting there. And of course, during this time, everything around me was kind of crumbling. Then after shortly all of that, the channel shut down. If you have been subscribed to us for a while, you kind of know why, and if you've watched my past videos, you know why. I don't really want to really get into it again because y'all know it kind of just unfortunately fell apart, and I moved. Then I moved in with my dad, and then that fell apart, and then I moved in with my grandparents. There I discovered night school, and luckily I had a family member who was an employee at this night school. That's how I found my way there, and I'm very lucky that I did. It saved me. It gave me a schedule. During the time I was in night school, I didn't feel any pressure about the YouTube channel or anything, and that was a time for me to just seriously decompress. If you have social anxiety or you are getting bullied and you are struggling with public school, at least check out what's going on with night school. Just see what's up with that, because I do not recommend online school. When I enrolled back into night school, I took a year and a half off of school. I don't know. All I know is that I was 2 years behind, 11, 12. Even though it wasn't like the best batch of kids, you know, like some of them there were pretty rough, you know, pretty crazy. They kept to themselves, like I was never bothered. And during this time, I was also just coming back to my senses, you know, I was coming to who I am today. I was just becoming happier, and it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, but it finally happened. At the end of the year 2017, I actually moved back in with my mom. I finished, I graduated. It just felt so good to know that I, you know, worked so hard for it and I got it in time. Getting my diploma just did so much for me. I got my diploma, I like got my license, like I was back on track. Oh, I graduate. I guess that's the end. And then I thought I was gonna go to college, and then I said, nah, I'll just do YouTube. Now I have you guys, now we're here. And I'm really thankful for everything, and I am extremely grateful for you guys and all of your support. That's why I dropped. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Share this video with your friends if you have any. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. I love you guys so much. You spilled lipstick.